There is a point when what you are carrying inside stops staying inside. It does not happen suddenly. It does not feel dramatic. But slowly, your body starts responding to something you don't fully understand yet. And the most confusing part is, you don't fully connect it to your mind. Hello everyone, my name is Aniruddha Tejan. I am a second year MBBS student. And this was the phase where my body started showing what my mind had been carrying for a long time. By this time, my shoulder injury had already happened, and I had already gone through that phase. So, when these new things started, I did not connect it to something serious because this felt different. This was not sharp pain, there was no injury, just a subtle discomfort, something I could ignore. And that is exactly what I did. I ignored it because it did not seem to be serious. It did not stop me from doing anything, so I continued like nothing was happening. Sometimes I would sit in class and keep shifting in every few minutes, not because it hurt, but because nothing felt right. And the more I adjusted, the more uncomfortable I became. Sometimes it was a strange heaviness in my body, sometimes it was fatigue, even when I had not done much. Sometimes my posture felt off, like I could not sit or stand comfortably for long. And the strange part was, more than the discomfort, what confused me was I did not know whether to take it seriously or just ignore it. And that uncertainty kept me stuck. It did not stay consistent. And that was the most confusing part. If it was consistent, I would have taken it seriously. But because it kept disappearing, I kept dismissing it. Some days I felt completely normal. I could move normally, talk, laugh, feel fine. I could forget about it. I would even think, see, nothing is actually wrong. And then suddenly, on another day, the same body felt heavy again. And because there was no pattern, I could not understand what was actually happening. There was no clear answer and no clear reason. And that made it easy to ignore. I kept telling myself, it's just weakness. Maybe it's just fatigue. Maybe it will settle on its own. And because I could still function, I started believing it was not something serious. So I did not stop. I did not slow down. I did not look deeper. And at that time, I did not realize something important, that when your mind carries something for too long without processing it, it does not just disappear. It changes form. It finds another way to be expressed. And your body is the place where it shows up. Not as one clear symptom, but as small signals. Not in a way you can immediately understand, but in a way you can slowly start feeling. But even then, I did not connect the two. I knew somewhere that the mind affects the body and the body as well affects the mind. But not like this. Not in a way that my body could carry something my mind has not fully understood yet. There was this strange feeling in the background, not something I could clearly think about, not something I could explain, but something that did not feel completely right. I would notice it sometimes, but then it would just slip away. And physically, I could still do everything. I could function normally. So every time that feeling came, it did not stay long enough for me to really understand it. So slowly, it just got buried under the normal life. And because of that, I kept treating it as a small physical issue, something temporary, something that would just go away on its own. But it did not. It stayed. And slowly, it kept increasing. Not all at once, but enough that I could no longer ignore it completely. And still, I did not understand what it was leading towards. And sometimes, before something actually breaks, there are signs, subtle ones, repeated ones. But because they don't look that serious, we just ignore them. And I did the same. Until one day, it stopped being subtle. And that is when I realized this was never just physical.